How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them there? Why we no go read them? Some people think say you dey do juju.
Is this a joke? They will never go free.
Them dey bone face so. Oh yeah, that wood them dey bone face for. Easy body yeah. You're so wicked they walk oh.
You know, as I'm watching on television now, they paint them. That is all. And they sweet there. When they see me appear like this, they paint them. And I promise them, I'm here to bury them. I see they paint them, they sweet us. I see they rain us, they pay. When you say, I see they paint them, they sweet us. I see they sweet us, they go they pay. I see they paint them, they sweet us. Face me like face you. Every morning, every afternoon, every night, weekend, every day, weekend. Weekend is not important. Why are you worried? Weekend is not important. Why are you worried? Allow weekend to rest. A big man, a big man, a big man, a big. If you didn't there, you didn't there.
Thank you so much. I have someone on the line already. I am sorry for keeping you waiting. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine. My dear good there.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
At least I make it through today. It's been a while.
I know. Where are you calling from? This number looks so... Is that Dubai or something?
No, Russia.
Is it Russia? I've been staring at that number like, oh my God, what kind of number is this? I'm so lost. How are you doing now? How is Russia? How is Putin?
Man is doing great. We are proud of Putin too. Yeah, so really? Everybody should be proud of it. Yes, we are proud of him.
Right. Tell us more. I mean, go on, please. These
things here, many people don't understand when it comes to politics. If not for Putin, many Africans will not be in Russia today. Many Africans. The level of discrimination in Russia before Putin becomes the president of Russia is of high extreme. And many people that live in Russia before then knows that. But it stabilized people, both black and the citizens. And they're okay with it. Used to say, like you used to say, Maego, yes, you will say to rule Nigeria is very, very simple. Just give them what they need. The same thing Putin is giving. He gave the citizens of what they need, social amenities that they needed. If we have Putin as the president in Nigeria, Nigeria will be the best in the world. I'm telling you the fact.
Wow.
All these politics they are playing in Ukraine, all of us know that this is a politics, this is not a war. The fight between Russia and Ukraine is a politics. And everybody knows it. That's why you can even say that, okay, Donald Trump is saying that if he becomes the president of America, he's going to stop it. I believe it with you, with him, 100% that the war will stop if Donald Trump is president. Because all they are doing is politics. That is not our bone of contention,
I know.
Let's go to the politics of Nigeria.
I'm glad that you're actually like speaking so comfortably, and it doesn't seem like there is any rush or what have you. So, which is great to actually hear, by the way. So, yeah, let's talk about our own. Go on.
Definitely. That's just the fact. Okay, okay, now we're talking about Nigeria. I used to told you, I said, I don't believe in that nation called Nigeria anymore. Let everybody break up and go on its way. If they are not going to call for restructuring, no solution to Nigeria. And that is the fact. Everybody has been saying it. The level of destruction in Nigeria is of high extreme. I used to cry whenever I listen to news about Nigeria every day because we have destroyed the nation to the root. They have destroyed it to the root. Nothing. Just imagine the level of corruption in that nation. I don't see any way forward in that nation anymore. That, okay, maybe Nigeria can still come back and no. Even with Peter Obi, even with Tinubu, even with Atiku, nobody. The nation is gone. It is finished. That is why I'm happy that, okay, anytime I listen to Mayego, I always see the truth. And I always know that, okay, maybe one day, because I won't lie to you, I've already been asking myself, okay, what is even the solution to Nigeria? I said, okay, if I have permission here, I want to ask that, okay, wait, how are we going to do it that we are going to survive this criminal? And maybe even when we break up or anything, are we still going to have the solutions to that nation? Because I don't know how we are going to do it. I want to ask you, Mayego, how do you see, when do you see, how and when? Because we need to be optimistic.
In all honesty, in all honesty, right? The first question or the first step to getting an answer to that your question is that, I mean, how can we get Nigerians to agree or even to discuss at first that they want to be Nigerians? Have Nigerians been asked if they want to be Nigerians and under what conditions? So people have been deciding for Nigeria all this while, right? So maybe when people begin to ask that right question and allow the people's answer to actually be, sort of acknowledged, it is then that those who are trying to force one Nigeria will realize that a lot of Nigerians don't want one Nigeria anymore. And that can be the beginning. Do you get that now? So,
how soon will this be? I'm sorry, this is a conversation, sir. How soon will this be? Because I don't know. Like, I want to just show an instance. Okay, look, I watched the lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu today. And he was saying that he's pleading that, okay, that Nigeria is not going to break up, that they should release Nnamdi Kanu. He's saying that in order to appeal to the government of Nigeria, maybe they are going to release it. Which, into some content, I picked some part that, okay, him himself does not even think that, okay, maybe Nigeria is going to break up. I don't even know how we are going to fathom that fact that, okay, maybe people will stand up with revolution to run these people away, maybe stone them to death. I don't even know, because when I was even watching that stupid Apapa today, I was like, is there any way we can carry a stone and kill this man? I'm sorry. I'm just being angry.
A lot of people will feel a lot of ways. Do you get that? One of the things, or one of the reasons why we are where we are today is that there is never any time that Nigerians have genuine conversation about Nigeria. People have been deciding, like I said earlier, people have been like sort of saying, we represent Yoruba or we represent this region, and we all know all what that is all about. So what is going to happen, that will then prompt that national conversation, which will then lead to whether Nigeria is going to break up now or is going to break up later. Sure, you get that going to that, approaching that stage is where we are right now. A lot of people are fed up, but one thing is going to happen, which will eventually spark that. But in the absence of all of that, Baba, it may end up like we are going to have to kill ourselves enough before we get that sense of asking, do we still want to live together or not? No, that's in the absence of all of this. But it's getting to that stage where people are beginning to say that question of Nigeria question where people are going to ask themselves, who is a Nigerian? What makes them a Nigerian? That conversation, they don't want to have it. But eventually, they're going to have it. Well, like I said, in the absence of all of this, I'm a parawani. Last. Go to the everybody might get sense. I can promise you that.
Thank you, Thank you very much. Thank you
so much.
I really appreciate today. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'm speaking to somebody from Russia. It means that I have friends in Russia. You won't be my first Russian caller, okay? But the fact that after all this war, I still have people like you who are following the event, and I'm one of the sources where you kind of follow the event. It's relief. It's a big relief for somebody like me. Okay, Baba? Stay safe, eh?
Thank you.
Nice one. Nice one. So I have another caller on the line. Oh, Yima was calling earlier, by the way. But since Yima is very relaxed that now. So yeah, I have another caller. Hello there.
Hello, Mayogo.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Fantastic, man. How are you doing this evening?
I am very well. Thank you for asking. So.
All right. I always like to ask about you because I know as a young man, you're doing your best. And before I even say anything, all I pray that God will give you a good head and the energy and the motivation to keep talking because it's good to talk.
I know.
That is the weapon God has given to us.
Anything that would make us stop talking, I mean, should rather kill us.
Exactly.
Do you get that? Now, that's what I say to people.
Exactly.
Anything that's going to make me stop talking, that would make talking more difficult for me, should just kill me. Then I'll be useless. I'll be useless. And I don't want to be useless.
Sometimes. Exactly. Sometimes the tongue is more powerful than armored car. Yeah. So you know what happened is that Nigerian case is a big joke, and that joke is coming to end. And the reason that joke is coming to end, there is one proverb. They say, "When breeze blow, you go see foul gnash."
That's right.
Breeze don't blow, everything don't open. All right. I don't know why Nigeria is even worried when Tinubu travel out. Tinubu is Tinubu like. He can go to Jericho. He can go to wherever he wants to go. Who cares about where he goes to? Wherever he wants to go, he can go wherever he wants to go. If the wife wants to go to Asherok for visit, he can go. All these things, they are psychological bully. You know, any bully uses tactics to intimidate you.
That's all right.
For the fact you have been rejected by people, you've been rejected by Nigerians, and that rejection is real. There is nowhere, nothing whatever Tinubu can do to turn things around. Even if you turn it around today, assuming he's a president, it's an illegitimate president. That is established.
That's the real battle, I know. The battle of legitimacy.
And that's the real battle. He cannot erase that. He is an illegitimate president. He is the first one that Nigerians, both to Boko Haram, all of them, the recent election, people have been, Jonathan, they voted for them, everybody. But this is the first time in Nigeria, somebody won election, and every look on corner came together and started to talk about him. It becomes a daily topic. That means he's going nowhere. But what I want people to understand that because the truth has come out, for a long time, Nigeria has been deceived and lied to. We're not repeating ourselves here. They've been lied to. They've used tribal sentiment, religious sentiment to lie to Nigeria and another. Now, since the truth has been exposed, that everybody knows now that Igbos, because it was an easy option before. When anything happened, they would center it on Igbos. It looks like Igbos are the problem of Nigeria.
I know.
But now it has been established. All Nigerians, even they born you today, even anybody that voted for this election, whether you voted for APC, you voted for PDP, you voted for Labour Party, Party, or you from North, you know that Igbos are no longer the problem of Nigeria. that is established. So the fight Tinubu is fighting, is he fighting Igbo? What has Igbo done? Nothing. So he can't win that war, except very minority, about stupid, gullible people he can use. But he can use them for so long, not for too far.
That's right.
All right? The issue that we got here right now is that we know where the problem is coming from. And like what happened that since after the Civil War, yeah, Nigeria didn't come together to the court. There was no reconciliation.
No
we swept everything.
Somebody just came and announced, and he said, "No winner, no vanquish," and that's it. They said, "Let's move on. Let's move on." No, you don't move on from something. That's not.
And Nigeria follow like sheep. Nigeria follow like sheep and move on. All right. So this issue is that we know the people behind the issue. The people behind the issue is the elite, and that elite is. It's not tribal. It's the Fulani Caliphate. The Arewa. They are now to have to make this decision. The Fulanis and the Arewa have to make this decision. Do we want one Nigeria? Because we are no longer fighting for only Igbos. Do we want one Nigeria, or do we want to separate? Because remember, there has never been a unique situation in Nigeria whereby somebody from the southeast, an Igbo man, win election, and he sees a Yoruba man coming on TV fighting for him. He sees a Plateau man coming for TV fighting for him. He sees somebody from Apapa fighting for him. So why would you say the problem is Igbo? So you have been exposed that the problem is no longer Igbo. So
they've not been able to spin it. They have not been able to. And that's why they call the Yorubas who support him as Omoales. They are not real Yorubas. And that's also part of the whole problem too. And they are not actually addressing that. No.
So you can't use that to spin. Exactly. Exactly. So what I'm saying now, I am making it very clear to this group of people, because they know the elite, the Sagana of Sokoto, the emirs in the northern region, they hold Nigeria together. Let them call their people. Let them call their boys. Let them call their boys and address them. It's okay. We want to remain this. Because this situation is either now or never. That's it. There's no two ways about it. You cannot, there's no way, there's no going back. Because the situation we find ourselves now is like when you are in a war front, you are fighting in a territory, and you are being cut off from behind, and you are war front. The enemy is facing your war front. If you go back, they will shoot you. If you go front, all you got to do is to attack. Whatever weapon you can do, to attack.
Launch it, put everything you have into it.
To push everything you go into it and attack and going. Because you know, if you go back, you're going back to your grave. You're going back to die. So they will not do it. So the situation now, if the emirs will call their boys, because what I'm saying this, why I say the emirs, that they know the only reason they are doing this, because they know they control the whole resources, the whole security apparatus, yeah, the army, the navy, everything, they control everything. Either they are prepared to wipe out Nigeria, or they prepare for us to be together peacefully.
That must be discussed. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let me take another one, okay, so that we can just do it. Thank you very much for always stopping every time. I have another call on the line. Here we go. Hello there.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Mayego, finally.
Finally, sir.
Finally. My name is Engineer Spemi, and I'm calling from Australia.
Engineer Simeon. That's grand. How are you, sir?
Good. I listen to you all the time, but calling in is a little bit difficult.
It can be.
But today, I finally got through.
Yes.
First, I must commend you on the job you're doing. I'm really, really impressed that we have someone like you doing this kind of job.
Thanks a lot for that.
I just want to make it as briefly as possible today because there will be other times for other talks. So I just want to address two issues.
Please.
The first issue I want to address is there was a caller from Russia. I want to advise him not to bring out information he's not privy to. We know what is happening in Russia. People in Russia don't have information of what is going on. Any TV station that publishes the truth about what is going on, they will be prosecuted. So he should not bring out information. Yes, he should not come and tell people give people wrong information or impression about one president or the other. That aside. The other one is I want to talk about Peter Obi.
So,
some people are insulting him, saying, "Oh, he's begging Shoyinka, he's begging this." The man is not a fool. He knows what he's doing. You see, there are people that we call they thrive in chaos. If you are engaging in chaos with them, that is the area, how Yoruba call it, people that like to fight rough. You understand? So you don't drag. You have to keep yourself in a certain level and don't drag yourself to their muddy water to fight in it. He knows what he's doing. When it's time for action, action will come. But for now, he's playing it cool. He doesn't want anybody to de-escalate or defocus what is at hand.
See.
And what is at hand is that court. And that court is what we are all waiting for. I have been an activist since the late 80s. I finished from the University of Benin. If you've heard of SAP riot, it was us.
I mean, even the name,
I finished
maybe without the engineer, Simeon sounded like something I've heard, kind of in an echo chamber like. But go on, sir. I'm with you.
Yes, we have. I finished from University of Benin. There are some of our student union. I was a parliamentarian. There are some of our student union members today who are working for APC. There is one who became a student union president after. His name is Mike Guinea. He's an NEC officer, but he still stands for the truth. You saw the case with what he did. So we were the ones going to have meeting at Becker's house in Maria in Antony Village as student parliamentarian. We know we came out, there was a publication we came out that time. It was like a handout where we were telling people how Babangida bastardized the country. We started comparing that a bag of rice was 32 naira. And what it was as at when Babangida annulled June 12th. Wale Soyinka today, who is gone old, so his thinking is no longer as before again. So I don't want to put too much blame on him. I'll just say it's old age.
There's always that comrade spirit there. A lot of people said that they are so surprised looking at Professor going on and on. That's not the they could understand.
Yes. In 83, there's a song with Tunji Oyelano. They sang against during the Shagari regime. The song, there's a song they played that time. So, you see, if you follow Nigerian context, we want them. Buhari has always been in the back of trying to Islamatize Nigeria. And then one thing people don't understand today is that Buhari wasn't supposed to be the head of state in 1983. Or should I say 84?
Mostly 84 then, yeah.
There was a man there was a major general that was killed in that coup. His name is Major General Bako. That would have been your head of state, not Buhari. But because he was killed,
said that they shot in the back, and when they were investigating, they
yes,
said
because
he's a man that normally face and fight. So which means somebody who was closer to him shot him in the back in a way like a surprise death. I know that story.
The thing that happened is, people might not know this, but the thing that happened is that because of his tribe and closeness to Shagari, he went to warn Shagari about the coup.
Yes.
And Shagari ordered his mobile police guard to shoot him.
It's unfortunate.
Because it was a simple palace coup, there was no violence.
There wasn't.
In that coup. There was no violence in that coup. So, APC people, I don't know how to say them. I'm looking at them. We have some of them here in Australia. And they are Yorubas. In 2015, when they started the Buhari, or 2014, I told them, I said, you people don't know this man. I've been an activist, I know this man. They said, oh, Buhari, he would clear corruption, he would do this, he would do that. I said, don't misjudge Buhari's regime of that time. The things Buhari came out with policy was killing, Decree 2, Decree 4. When we talk about discipline in Nigeria, it was the Diagon that was doing the job. So Buhari was never a factor. The same Buhari that was overthrown by Abacha and Babangida came back to serve under Abacha as PTF chairman.
Bless you, PTF chairman, yes.
What are we doing in this country? Is it not recycling? We're recycling.
That's what they do.
When people cannot open their eyes and see that these people are just playing with us. They are just playing with everyone. They are recycling themselves. Buhari was in Obasanjo's government. They're just rotating each other.
That's right.
But for Mr. Kolu, sometimes if someone has made too much money and he doesn't want to rest, when enough is never enough, right? You will now be exposed to the biggest disgrace of your life. You people should just keep your fingers crossed and watch. Let me allow some other people to talk. I will try and call it on weekend.
Thank you so much for calling in this today, and I'm glad that you actually got through. I hope I'm lucky next time. You have a good one, sir. I said I saw Jima earlier. He's disappeared on me. Okay. I still have another caller here. Hello there.
Hello, Margaret.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's good evening, right?
Good evening. Yeah, it is evening here. Is it kind of morning in America or where?
It's America.
It is afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It's good to hear from you, by the way. So please, go on.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm very well. Oh, thanks for asking. Same old.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Thanks.
I always tune into your show, but I haven't tried to contribute in the past couple of shows that you've had.
I know, but I bet you're watching as well, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Never miss.
I'm watching. If I'm not watching it live, I watch it. I do a replay.
Thank you.
Yes. And it's always interesting, I know you don't do this and that you don't even recommend it, but I think it's always good to kind of like follow the conversation offline, in the chat groups and things like that.
As well, okay.
So, I haven't listened to the program in its totality, but I have, I've been, watching bits of it. But there are certain things that I wanted to kind of like talk about, I know, I think it was yesterday you talked about the religious, or 22 days ago.
I think it's
religious leaders.
Possibly.
Religious leaders.
Now. But anyway,
maybe
you know what you remember. Maybe you remind me. Please, go on.
Yeah, when the Pastor Adeboye, right? And what he said. Yeah. So and I was thinking about it, pondering, and I was thinking, when the reverence for authority or people in this in religious circles, when did that equate to what's the word again? An absence of reason? You know, it has never been. They are not equal. Because you revere a person doesn't mean that you start to reason less or that you don't think about what it is the person is saying. You know. Now, after Pastor Adeboye said that, how many people got up the next day, put their clothes on, and went back to the same church?
Probably almost everyone.
Almost everyone. And we are here, we hear about it, we scream, oh, they're not for us. Okay, they are not for us. What about you? Are you for yourself? And if you are for yourself, why don't you vote with your feet? Do you have to be there? You don't have to be there. If you know that the person doesn't support you, or you feel that they take a view that does not reflect the popular or align with your.
You know what somebody said? Somebody once told me that. I mean, this was somebody who was genuinely giving me a reason why they have to do everything to make sure that PDP, APC don't continue to rule Nigeria, or else they are done for. They told me that they are fighting for their life. I'm fighting for my life. I was like, how? I was like, you don't understand. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for the life of my children. If these guys continue, we are done for. You have no idea, Mayegun. So, of course, if you see anybody who is promoting them, they're possibly against your life. And that will make sense. If
absolutely.
You say, oh, I'm not going to go there anymore.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with the caller. And I'm 100% sure that you understand what they're saying. You might as well, you know, bind everybody, line them up, and ask each of us to jump into the River Niger and don't try to save yourself, because that's what's going to happen. That's what they've been doing. You know, you're practically dead. Multidimensional poverty is what Nigerians are facing. I spoke to a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and she goes like, well, maybe Tinubu will do something. I was shocked. I was like, what are you saying?
They're already using reverse psychology on them now.
Bear roses.
I tell you.
Cactus don't bear roses. Okay? You don't plant a cactus and expect a rose.
No.
So you expecting that Tinubu is going to change your life?
How?
I think you're living in cuckoo land. Okay? That's one. Now, people talk about the breakup of the country and things like that. I'm not 100% sure that people really know what they're asking. And my question to the temple is, now, if you're saying Nigeria should break up, okay, what is your day one? Because it's easy for you to be a keyboard warrior and typing it, saying, oh yes, we have to disintegrate this and that and the other. What is your day one? Realistically, what is day one of trying to get to that point for you? What does day one mean, right? If you're saying this is the loss of life, how many lives will be enough for that to happen? What is your day one? Is what a lot of people. And then after your day one, what is your day two? Because you have to wake up in the morning and continue on the next day. Okay, so people, I feel like you don't come on here and say things like, oh, Nigeria should separate and things like that when you don't have a day one, when you don't have a strategy. And bear in mind that breaking up Nigeria doesn't necessarily mean all your problems are solved. No. Breaking up Nigeria doesn't mean that people's mentality suddenly changes, because you're still going to deal with you're still going to be dealing with the same people. But you broke up on day one doesn't mean that day two everybody will self-correct. No. What about not everybody's going to align with you. What about security? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about even the security of yourself in that place? What about entities that will rise up and become nuisances? You know, because in their mind, there are no laws in place at the moment. So when people talk about let's separate, I'm not against people want to go. I have a different thought process around how I think Nigeria should work. But again, that would mean buy-in from the north, the south, and the southwest, south, middle belt. Everybody has to buy into that entity called Nigeria and see what works for for us as
agree
a
on something. I mean, if we have
exactly.
differences and all these differences are tabled, and if some people feel like, okay, we can't live together as a country, we want to leave, or we want to live together as a country, but under these conditions, at least have that conversation.
Exactly.
Do you get that now?
Exactly.
So I kind of support that.
So that is where
let me
I
quickly
stand.
say something about that breakup before you leave, okay, Shama, right?
Yes.
See, what happened is this. Usually, when you say Nigeria should break up, it sounds so blunt, harsh, or too straightforward, and it doesn't come with any kind of substance. It's so straightforward. Let all of us break up and go our separate ways. I understand that. I mean, the feelings of when do you think that's how easy it is? But usually, the breaking up of Nigeria, we know will never happen just like that. Okay, or it starts from the conversation identifying with people who make up every space in Nigeria for the first time, right? If Nigeria will have a conversation around the over 250 ethnic nationalities, at least for the first time, ask every nationality in Nigeria what will make them feel among, what will make them feel as part of a country, right? Now that conversation will give room to almost everyone. And it is through that conversation that you can then say, okay, if they say, well, let's continue as a country, then at this point, those who want to be Islamic North, they will get what they want. Those who want to be cosmopolitan South, right? They will get what they want. And they're respecting those barriers will be highly, clearly identified. Nigeria currently is like, you know what I mean now? Like, it's just everything, where everything goes. So I get the fact that when we say break up, it's so direct. And sometimes it's like, do you even know what you are saying? Of course, a systemic change that will then lead to what we usually have before. We used to have autonomy, Sham. Remember? We used to run our affairs. It never really clashed. See, those times, those days, right? Policy-wise and otherwise, they never really clash. Lagos is the headquarters of Nigeria, but it's also a southwestern government in that same western Nigeria. So how did those things work? By identifying the differences and build according to them. If we can have something like that, right? A journey of breaking up of Nigeria non-violently starts like that. Anything else is violence, and I don't like violence, honestly.
Exactly. Thank you. And the truth is that we're all diaspora, right? So why would we think where we are in the comfort of where we are, right? And say people,
I don't like that.
I'm promoting violence.
No, I don't.
I will not do it. No, I will not do it. Neither will I encourage it.
It's even counterproductive. So, like you said, right? It is counterproductive. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Would you sustain them? And on like that. So most of the time, it's like, let's fight, right? If you fight without plan, it's counterproductive. It's just wastes lives.
Absolutely.
So I get all your points.
And I appreciate what you're saying. Thanks. But the reason why I wanted to bring it out the way I did, right, is that you understand, or I'm hoping that the people in the temple understand that it's not just let's break up.
No, it's not by flicking finger. No. You don't break up.
Exactly. It's not by flicking your finger. No. And then on the last note, with regards to Obi, right? I think there's either is a book or a saying, she stoops to conquer. People can say whatever they want to say about Obi and his strategy and the way he is, right? But sometimes you have to really, really humble yourself, maybe even make yourself really small to be able to conquer and to be victorious. Not the when you take for example, David and Goliath, for goodness sake, when Goliath must have seen David, must have said, what is it on? I'll be back sitting down under the tree, But guess what? David, with his 5 little rocks, felled Goliath at the end of the day. So sometimes it's not about might, it's not about like your previous caller said, no, it's not about any of that.
People are not really kind of afraid of him meeting them and making peace and all that. What they are kind of upset about is that him coming around to scold them, right? Like tell them, please don't be like that. Please don't. They felt like he's playing into the hands of people who normally don't like him. So he could just keep quiet, not talk about them, right? Do his things, right? Why they do their thing. That's my own understanding anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that, but don't you think it would have looked better if instead of attacking Obi and then making it seem as if okay, his own people are against him, and then giving those people more things to work with and more things to talk about. Exactly. So even if we ourselves, right, kind of like calm down a little bit and just even try to emulate the man that we are all kind of gathered around, okay, maybe we can just continue with our united front so that these other people don't have anything to come back with and say, oh, look at what they're saying, look at what they're doing, you know, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing the other, right? We don't have to give them fuel, you know, to carry on with what they're saying and what they're doing. That's the point I'm trying to make, you know. So anyway, these are my own, this is my point of view, my own opinion.
I love the fact that you can always take a look at things from different perspectives, and your presentations are very convincing too. And I love the fact that we could change those information not between just us, but include those who are listening to us. You know, makes it interesting.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thanks a lot.
Hopefully, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, ma'am. Thank you. So I have another caller on the line, and we are almost rounding up now. Okay. Hello there.
Hello, my this is your guy, Adiola.
Hey, Adiola. You managed to sneak in tonight. I like that. How are you doing, Baba?
Baba, I'm okay. I was interested in that conversation with the previous caller about the breakup of Nigeria, you know, and the day one and the day two.
Sometimes that's that kind of, you know, sometimes when you talk about breakup of Nigeria, it is so direct that some people will think you don't know what you're talking about. But we've done series. We've even explained process of how a country will eventually break up. We've done many of that many times on this program. But it seems once in a while we should be making that clarification rather. Adela.
Yeah.
You know.
I think people don't understand that Nigeria breaking up is not something that is instantaneous.
No.
It is already breaking up. It's in the process of breaking up already. You know, so it's not as if you have a solid structure right now and automatically to break up into shreds, you know, or break up into multiple pieces. It is already breaking up. There are so many fault lines across the whole place.
That's right.
It's an inorganic structure in the first place. You know, it's like you're binding wood, concrete, iron together in one place. And over the years of different kinds of different kinds of leaders, that structure has been chipping away. So it is not a question of what happens in day one or day two. That is not even the main question. It's like, look at the fault lines now. Some things will break up. It will come to for me, I believe that this
like law of natural cause. It will take its course eventually because it's already happening.
It's already happening already. Every day whereby people kill people without any repercussions and people steal, you know, and people, you know, take away, you know, with impunity. You are chipping it off every single day. You are removing every fabric that seems to bind you.
Off like that, little by
little. Chipping it every single day. So, and the first track to that breaking up, I keep on telling my friends, is poverty. When a place becomes socially, that there's downward immobility. You know, you just downward. You know, there's no upward mobility. You're just going downward, and there's increased poverty, and there's no plan in place to bring people out of poverty and to, you know, promote social cohesion. When those things are absent in any place, the breakup, Baba, there's no need to keep on talking too long. It's imminent. It's only when you don't see the sign.
Poverty is even a threat. Poverty is a threat.
Poverty is a
country. So if you have a country where poor people, the population of poor people are so massively more than the rest of the country, that is the problem, Baba.
Nigeria is still confusing me. Nigeria today is still confusing me because when I look at our misery index, and I'm still thinking, Baba, how come a country is still surviving under such
Nigeria still running?
Conditions?
A lot of people are asking, like, this is
looking
unbelievable.
into looking at the misery index, you add inflation, you add unemployment rate, you add all those stuff together to piece out, okay, gone, waiting the sub there, waiting the shell for this zone. And the misery index is comfortable where it is. Life expectancy is still 52 years. I left Nigeria in 2006 and it was 49 years. It only moved, God knows, by 2 or 3 years forward. See, the day one and the day two for me is immaterial. Because if Nigeria becomes insoluble, whereby
become like a company insolvent. It can no longer survive. They will have to call for the
insolvent.
Well, this Adiola now all these economists where they write
Baba, when Nigeria becomes insolvent, we cannot fulfill. Anytime we become insolvent and we cannot, pay our normal obligations, we cannot honor our obligations.
You declare bankruptcy and dissolve the whole company.
You default the whole unit, and you say, Mama line of okay, Baba, how far I go do my own. There will be a temporal arrangement. Nobody will tell you whereby like minds that want to salvage or want to carve out their own will come out, and they would say what they want to say, because right now we have a constitution that we did not use, that we don't
write. No, start from we did not write. The people didn't write it.
Let's go like at the front one.
People.
Decree 24. That's 24 of the Constitution. That one automatically becomes redundant. We'll ask ourselves a question: do we have anything that we can use as our day one or day two, whilst we progress? Those things will kick in. We have 1953 Constitution that every part of that Constitution highlights those regions as sub-government regions. We can revert back to that, because people don't know every day whereby you have a government with impunity. Let me just leave you with this one. Tinubu's presidency is a natural progression for a corrupt system. You do not expect Obi to be there, because it's like fitting square holes into round pegs. It's impossible. Tinubu's choice is a natural progression in any system that is corrupt and run by and fueled by impunity. There is no other choice than Tinubu in this system of government that is so corrupt. You can't, Baba, you can't pour new wine into old wine skin. If Obi becomes the president,
taste. No, it doesn't.
Things will be worse.
You can't teach old dog new trick as well, Adiola.
Baba, if you are pouring new wine into old wine skin, the result will be worse. So if you want to maintain that system, allow Tinubu to keep on brewing it, because you cannot bring someone that wants to do something good in an environment whereby it's alien to him. It's like an alien environment, whereby you come, that environment, they breathe nitrogen, and you are breathing oxygen, and you want to come and breathe oxygen inside nitrogen. You will just blow up.
Making bombs.
So
we go kill all of us
inside
the
there's no point in saying Baba Tinubu is a natural choice for a corrupt society. So even if you want to repair anything, you are an alien in that environment. They will frustrate your life, die. On my face, saying what anything say, and the moment you can't do anything, the result will even be worse. So let this guy say maybe won't become. See, that's where that natural progression is so sure and so confident that this thing is this system runs on the fuel of impunity. So automatically, I am in line. That's why he says Emilokon. Emilokon is an exclusive spirit. It's exclusive. It's not inclusive. It doesn't bring anybody. That's why, Baba, may we not see the louder. If you want to predict how Tinubu would, how it will end, look at his track record. And more importantly, look at the people that surround him. Look at his disciples. Look at his disciples. When they are taking photos, look at people that are with him. Look at their track record. Because if you look at it, normally I say if they study, say you want to study correctly.
You won't try to pull their profiles together. You'll be disappointed. Like, what?
Baba. Baba. So if we were to look at it ethnographically, okay, this person, where it comes from, what he does, his track record, everything ethnographically, you can predict it. You don't need a soothsayer, you don't need a pastor, you don't need to preach to you. If the guys that surround you want to steal, eat, kill, destroy.
So simply put, show me your friends, and I can tell you who
Baba,
you are.
Tell
so
you
easy.
Now, it's so easy. So look at his disciples. If his disciples are money hungry, power hungry, they are they are exclusive, not inclusive. Look at their track record. The moment you can capture those drivers, you can tell. But wrap it up. That means Nigeria will become poorer, will be more in debt, there'll be more social unrest, there'll be social disharmony. Mark my word, there'll be more social disharmony. And
people are going to hate themselves even more, you mean?
Baba, see, when someone tells you Emiloko, it brings people too in that mindset. That
so if you're not within that circle, you will be treated as an outcast.
Now.
Right.
You're an outcast now. So if you are the head of the Emiloko movement, you are bringing your disciples that believe, see, Baba, see, whatever the master does, the disciple will do now.
They will do same.
If not more. If not more. So if his disciples are money hungry, if it's Baba, see, when you raise people that are like you, some of them become much more hungrier than you as a leader. More than you.
If
so
not
you
worse.
should be careful. So I tell people, Tinubu for me is not the issue, it is his disciple. Take a profile. Is chief of staff, whatever who they want to, his inner caucus, people that are advising him, people that have his ears. Look at them and their profile. The moment you understand them, it is a clear indicator of where Nigeria will be now and the next 4 years. You don't need a soothsayer. You don't need any pastor, but just look at people that are running that government with him.
So we can just quickly agree that the likes of Tinubu and co are actually going to even push us closer to the breakup of Nigeria than Buhari as well.
Baba, it is inevitable. See, if that breakup was done if Nigeria was made organically, then it's hard to break it up. But if Nigeria is an inorganic arrangement, and does not make changes regularly to favor the people, then it is inevitable to break up. So if you're saying Nigeria not break up, see, we are all different. See, I keep on
Adiola, you remember that time when I said that the breakup of Nigeria is not solely in our hands. It's in the hands of those who are digging the pits to bury Nigeria. If they stop digging, there is a chance. But these guys don't look like people who want to stop digging. They are digging more.
See, human beings. They're digging more because those are the drivers for, those are the drivers for separation. When you steal, when you kill, when you maim, when you people to property,
profile people, do all of that,
gaslight them.
Around and
those things are the things that would create social disharmony. Those are the three ingredients of social disharmony. If you use ethnicity, if you use religion, those are the things. See, Baba, it's like just look at the scissors cutting away a fabric, all the scissors fabric. When you use impunity, when you use corruption, those things are chipping away even to those. See, because we are all black, right? Even though we are black and we're not a monolith, right? We can still identify, okay, we have some common things, we can have some agreements, those things can still go on. But when you rule with impunity, and when you rule with, with corruption, with reckless abandon, then you are using that little binding
that little
thread that we have.
You are closing it.
We are cutting it again. We are cutting it again. Because as black people, we identify as black, and we would probably want to have some agreement just to survive and to prosper. By default, okay, you are black like me, I'm black like you. We can work together, and my brother, you are Igbo, you are also, we can have some common ground. We can have, but the moment you start running the country with impunity, as your jet engine fuel, Baba, don't scatter now. So
just
let us not talk too much.
Thank you so much,
Adiola. He's not going to perform wonders.
I know.
He's not going to perform wonders. It's predictable, sir. It's people behind him and disciples are Baba. Don't stop.
And it's not like we are wishing anybody evil. We wish them what they wish themselves. No. But this is not hard to predict.
Baba,
it's not hard
evil.
to tell.
Baba is not evil. See, if Mayegu is consistent in coming up every night to deliver, even if you uproot him and take him to anywhere, he will still deliver because ethnographically he's wide in the system. He will deliver it. But when someone delivers corruption on a regular basis,
impunity,
what do you expect him to do again? So to do the right thing to him is alien.
It's alien to him.
To make sure there's wealth redistribution amongst people is an alien concept.
And there is no way you can put a round peg in a square hole. It doesn't work that way.
How can you do it? Someone that is used to normally chopping money and arranging contracts with him and his family, all of a sudden, he wants to now make sure there is some form of wealth distribution. Baba,
thank you so much.
Good night. God bless you. I know how to imagine. The Paragon.
You did well, Baba.
At the Paragon, Baba, the Paragon.
I just know we're going to adjust to ourselves. Baba, thank you. I'll see you next time.
Enjoy, man.
Nice one, man. Yeah. Okay. So that's Adeola, and thank you so much, everyone, for spending your evening with me again. We've come to the end of this broadcast tonight. But remember, just before you go to bed, right, if you haven't really liked this broadcast, please do like it. And then if you haven't shared it, do same. If you haven't subscribed onto my channel, I implore you to try it. If you don't like it, take it off. So I'm going to see you next time. Until then, stay safe. Stay safe. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary political. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.